Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. Tonight, we got a great show for you, and we're going to be talking about the astral body. We're going to pick up where we left off in this book right here of Franz Bardon and the initiation into hermetics. Now, I know we're going to be having Ryan Serio on sometime soon, and he is really into this uh, stuff with the hermetics, and you're going to need to know to keep up with him and stuff. You're going to know about the astral body, not only for that, but for yourself. And thank you all for coming tonight. Your time is precious, and I am glad that you're here watching me tonight because this is a good time to be reviewing this. It's winter time, and now that while I'm recording this, and so if you're catching me in the summer watching this, well, there you go. But it's winter now, and we're staying home more, and while we're staying home, we could be astral traveling to say somewhere else, and maybe experiencing some things. So, what is the astral body? What is the astral plane? What are we talking about? There's a lot more to it than just, hey, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? It's not just juju, Uh, I guess that's the way I want to call it. I mean, it's out there. We all know it's out there. You go to bed every night, you wake up every morning. Where did you go? Did you dream? Why didn't you remember your dream? Were you astral traveling? Did it really seem real? Uh, did you did you think about it? That you were if you did you ever have a dream where it seems more real than it really was? I know we've talked about astral travel plenty of times. We even had Preston Dennett on who talked about astral travel. And if you don't remember that show, go back, check it out. He's got a great book on astral traveling. Um, Last time we were here, we talked about the elements and the earth element, which was, we're going to go back to that. We're going to just cross that off. We were doing about the earth elements, and it's the earth elements are teleportal magnets. They're analogies of the body. Your body is made up of elements. The water, the fire, that burns within you, the electrical energies. It's all there, people. All of these elements are within you, and they are making up your body. And that's why it's so important because, let's see, we are going to share this. There we go. They're making up your body. These elements are. You are made up of the earth. You are made up of dirt, believe it or not. You're made up of metals. You might not think you have metals, but you do. You have all these things. You have air inside of you. You're breathing. The oxygen is taken to your blood cells. You need air. Air needs you. There's your celestial body. There you go. And now you're ready to jump out of this body and into the other world. But remember, every day you get dragged back into your body. So we're just going to pick up on some of these things as we did the other day. So back to square one here. And we're going to, you know me, I got to have some good pictures. What fun would it be if we didn't have good pictures during the Milky Way show? Right? And it wouldn't be any fun. And this is all in good fun. So there we are. Hang on there. I'm driving the bus, people. I'm driving the bus. Check that one out. Let's go on. The soul, or the astral body. through the finer vibrations of the elements, through the polarity of electric and magnetic fields, the actual human being, the soul, has come forth out of the kasha principle, or the finer vibrations of the ether. The functions of the elements in the physical body take place in the same manner as the functions of our soul or astral body. The soul is connected to the body through the teleportal magnet with its specific attributes. The unification, which takes place analogous to the body through the electromagnetic influence of the elements. Remember, the elements are the important things. The initiates call the work of the elements the so-called electromagnetic fluid of the soul, the astral matrix or life. The astral matrix or the electromagnetic fluid of the soul is not identical with the aurora of the occultist. Franz Bardon says, I will deal later with the subjects on the aurora. The astral matrix of the electromagnetic field fluid is the bonding agent between the body and the soul. You get that? The astral matrix of the electromagnetic field, which we are all connected to, is the fluid bonding agent between body and soul. The fiery principle that in which the construction even in the soul. The watery principle that is visualization. Visualizing. The airy principle, that which is equilibrating, and the earthy principle, that which is put together. Developing, preserving the astral body is subject to exactly the same functions as the physical body. The human beings are endowed with five senses, which correspond to the five elements, the astral body or the soul. And with the help of the corporeal senses, avails herself of the five senses and apprehends the perception of the physical world. The apprehension, the incursion of the five senses by means of the astral and material bodies occurs through our immortal spirit. The reason why the spirit is immortal, we'll explain that later. The astral body would be without life and would dissolve into its components without the spirit's activity in the soul. The spirit could not accomplish his efforts without the meditation of the soul, and for this reason the astral body is the seat of all the attributes and the immortal spirit possesses. So that's the thing is your spirit is inside this body, and together they make up one. Then you get to get out and travel around because the spirit gets bored. Okay, the spirit is a different kind of electric magnetic fluid vibration, which the soul shows outwardly in the four temperaments. Okay, the caloric temperament originates from the fire element. The sanguine temperament originates from the air elements. The melancholic temperament originates from the water element, and the phlegmatic temperament originates from the earth element. Sorry if I've, said those words wrong. In accordance with the strength and the vibration of the respective elements, you will also notice in the variation of attributes the strength, the energy, and the expansion of the representative fluid deviations. Each of these four elements, which determines the temperament of the human being, has in its active form goodness or good attributes, whereas in the passive form, it embodies the opposite, the evil attributes. It would be too voluminous to give in an itemized statement here of the effectiveness of the elements, and would be much more advantageous for the aspiring initiate to discover additional effects through his own meditation, because this serves a particular purpose on that path to initiation. Okay, nevertheless, here are a few examples. And we will change the picture. Yay! Okay, so here are the examples. The caloric temperament has its active polarity. The following good attributes: activity, enthusiasm, eagerness, determination, bravery, courage, creative energy, and more. The caloric temperament has its negative form. The following bad attributes: ferocity, jealousy, passion, irritability, quarrelsomeness, immoderation, destructive urges. Wow. Okay. You don't want that, right? That's the fire element. When you imagine fire, does it come out to enthusiasm or does it come out to jealousy? Wow. Okay. I guess that's the way it is. The sanguine temperament has its active polarity the following good attributes: penetrating power, diligence, joy, kind-heartedness, lucidity, absence of worry, cheerfulness, lightness, optimism, liveliness, independence, watchfulness, trustfulness, and more. Here's the bad elements of sanguine temperament. Has a negative form of following bad attributes: being easily offended, disdain, a passion for gossip. Oh my God, I know a lot of people like that. Lack of endurance. A lot of people like that. Cunning, talkativeness, dishonesty, etc., and more. And sanguine temperament is the air element. So, are you actively promoting your air element as diligence, joy, kind-heartedness, or are you doing it as disdain, passion for gossip, lack of endurance? Which one are you, people? Come on now. Think about the good attributes. We don't want to be those bad ones. The melancholic temperament has its negative form. Remember, the melancholic is the water element. Melancholic temperament has its negative form of the following bad attributes: indifference, downheartedness, shyness, dishonesty, unyieldingness, idleness. Here's the positive of melancholic. From an active polarity, following good attributes: respect, mercy, modesty, humanity, humility, serious, fever, intimacy, power of comprehension, meditation, compassion, tranquility, immersion, over, trustfulness, forgiveness, and tenderness. Now that sounds like good positive attributes. Remember, melancholic temperament is water. You can do a lot with water. Remember the water experiment in the rice. The rice and, saying good things over your water, because the water takes on all those attributes. You want to infuse your water with the positiveness, because if you infuse it with the negativeness, you're going to get downhearted, shyness, dishonesty, unyielding, idleness. That does not sound promising, people. The plasmatic temperament, which is the earth element. This is temperament has its active polarity the following good attributes: reputation, endurance, circumspection, determination, seriousness, firmness, consciousness, thoughtfulness, concentration, sobriety, punctuality, reserve, patience, unearningness, sense of responsibility, reliability, and caution, ability to resist, and more. Now remember, earth element in the negative is the phlegmatic temperament, has its negative form of the following bad attributes: shallow. You want to be shallow? Go ahead, be the earth element in the negative polarity. Carelessness, disdain, indifference, irresponsibility, bashfulness, tardiness. Oh my gosh, there's a lot of people out there that are exhibiting this bad earth element right off the bat. You want to do this in the astral plane? Oh boy, not a good thing. Idleness, unreliability. Oh, earth element in the negative is really bad. Don't do it. There we go. Gotta love the pictures. The characteristics of temperaments form the basis of a person's character. Which character are you, people? Come on, leave me some feedback in the comments below. Which characterizes you? I want to know which earth element do you um, associate yourself with most, and then change it. That's what it's all about. If you're realizing that you're very bashful or tardiness, or if you're idle or unreliable, maybe you're operating in your negative polarity of your earth element. Change that. Go to the positive, people. The characteristics of the temperaments. Oh, yeah. Intensity of the particular attributes that shows themselves outwardly depend on the polarity and the electric and magnetic fluids. The complete influence of the effort of the temperaments has an emanation of consequence, which is properly called the aurora. Therefore, the aurora cannot be compared to the astral matrix, because between the two exists a considerable difference. The astral matrix is connecting or bonding substance between the body and soul, whereas the aurora is the emanation of the effectiveness of the elements in the various attributes. And it has a foundation neither in the active or passive forms. The emanciation calls forth a particular variation in the entire soul, which corresponds to a particular color. On the basis of this color, the initiate can clearly see his own aurora or that of other beings with his astral eyes. Did you ever see an aurora of somebody else? Have you seen your own aurora? Did you ever look in the mirror and see your aurora? You know they have cameras out there that can pick up your aurora. If you knew that your aurora was one way or another, and if you were putting off a negative aurora, would you change it? Would you be open to change? Or would you say, and walk away? Those who can see their astral eyes can not only determine the basic character of a human being with the help of the aurora, but it can also perceive the effectiveness in respect to the polarity of the soul's vibration, and may be able to influence the soul's vibration. The subject will be discussed in a more detail in another chapter, of course. Of course, we'll get to it in another chapter. Therefore, the temperament of the person influences his character, and both together form in their effectiveness and in their total result an emanation of the soul or the aurora. Pictures of high initiates and saints are always depicted with a halo, which is identical to the aurora we have just described. Yes, we've seen plenty of those people with halos on their head in the old time pictures of church pictures. And look at that. I gotta love that picture. Besides the character, temperaments, and activities of the electromagnetic fluid. Oh, doesn't that look like a electromagnetic fluid flowing through the universe? Besides the character and temperaments, the activities of the electromagnetic fluid in the astral body has two more centers in the brain, namely the seat of the normal consciousness, which is located in the cerebrum, and the subconsciousness, the opposite of normal consciousness. That's right. Anyway, we've been talking a lot about consciousness, which is located in the cerebrium. Whatever. My tongue is tied. Sorry, people. I know. I'm just human. In the chapter entitled "The Spirit," we'll get to that, and we'll discuss these functions. The soul is organized in exactly the same manner as the body in accordance with other elements. The psyche or astral functions, energies, and attributes have their respective seats in the soul by way of particular centers, which Hindu philosophy depicts. Telusas, analogous to all the elements. In Hindu teachings, the awakening of these telusas is called the Kundalini Yoga. We've all heard of the Kundalini. I will not enter into this further. We'll Yeah, you want to, okay, we'll just skip over that. And so we're going to move down to here. It's all talking about Akasha principle is already well known, and it takes its course along the back as it is flowing through the canal down to the lowest earth centers. It is responsible for the connection between and the regulation between all centers, and it's another chapter. We will explain that too. Now, the astral plane. The astral plane often depicts as a fourth dimension. It is also created out of the four elements, and therefore it is a density degree of the Akasha principle. Consequently, the astral plane forms the basis of everything which has an origin, regulation, and life existence. Everything which has already occurred is occurring presently or will occur in the future in the material world, as it has already been mentioned. The Akasha is the most subtle form is the well-known ether, in which, amongst other things, the electric as well as the magnetic vibrations propagate. Therefore, it is also the sphere of vibrations in which light, sound, color, rhythm, and thus all life is in everything created has its origin. Since the Akasha is the source of all existence, it is understandable that everything finds its reflection in the Akasha, and that everything that has already been produced and has occurred, everything is presently produced and is occurring, and everything that will be produced and is that will occur in the future. That is why you will see the astral plane, the emanation of the eternal, which has neither a beginning nor an end, and therefore timeless and spaceless. The initiate who finds his way about this plane will find everything here, whether it is the past, present, or the future. The extent of the perception depends upon one's degree of perfection. And there you go. Here's your higher planes and your colors. There you go. It's kind of like radio waves, only they're not. And the higher you go, the lower densities. You can see that. You got lower densities and higher densities. And, as you're traveling around, you want to be in the high density, you're going up. You want to go in the lower density, your color goes down. So it's pretty easy to figure that out. Most religions, occultists, spiritualists depict the astral plane as the beyond. It is clear to initiate that there is really no such thing as this life and the life to come, this world and the worlds to come, the beyond. This is why he does not fear death. You're going down that astral tunnel, people. Down into the tunnel. And where do you end up? The field of dreams, people. Field of dreams. If the connecting substance between the physical body and the astral body dissolves through the decomposing activities of the elements or through a sudden severing of the astral matrix, what occurs is what is commonly called death. Then you end up in the field of dreams, which is in reality, it is a transformation from the earthly world to the astral world. The initiate does not fear death because on this basis of the law, he knows that he does not enter into uncertainty. By mastering the elements, he can, besides many other things, achieve a loosening of the astral matrix and thereby accomplish a spontaneous separation of the astral body from its earthly shell. This will enable him to visit the most remote regions and proceed to the various planes. And like with his astral body, within this phenomena, we should find a positive clarification of stories, wherein some saints were not only seen at the same time in different places, but were even seen working in those very places. Will this be your astral plane? Now, come on, people. Is this where you will end up? The astral plane has different kinds of inhabitants. Above all, there are departed human beings from the earthly world that linger there in accordance with their degree of spirituality maturity in the corresponding degree of density, in accordance with the various religions. This is depicted as either heaven or hell, yet the initiative perceives this as merely a symbol. The more perfected, noble, and pure a being is, he will therefore reside in a much purer and finer degree of density. That's right. This is your fine degree of density. The astral body begins to dissolve gradually until it corresponds with the frequency of vibration of the particular level of astral plane, or in other words, until it's become identical with the level of the astral plane. The identification depends upon the maturity on spiritual perfection and the particular being has achieved in the earthly world. But so, are you going to end up in, when you get to the other side, are you going to be the astral being sitting under the tree? Or are you going to be in this hell world? Because you don't know what you're doing. So wake up, people. Will you end up here? Are you going to sink down till you dissolve in this kind of matrix? I sure hope not, because it's really not that hard to illuminate yourself and become better. It's all in your head, people. It's all in your head. It's in your astral body. You live, it's all within you. Listen, it's within you. Okay. Besides the aforementioned departed human beings, the astral plane is inhabited by many other beings, of which we will not mention. There are, for example, so many elementary beings with only one or a few attributes which are dependent upon and to maintain themselves their same kind of vibrations. Yeah, so we already did that. I explained it in lesser words than that guy could. So there you go. That's because I'm good. The mastery of the elements is an important component as far as the subject of magic is concerned. You will find more information in regards to passions as they are related to the elements in the chapter, such and such. Okay, fire element is called salamanders, when in the air element called syphilis, when in the water element are called mermaids or underlines, and when in the earth element are called gnomes. So there you go. And these beings represent, so to speak, a connection between the astral plane and the earthly elements. How to contact and control such beings and how to achieve anything with them, which will be discussed in the particular part of this book. There is a multitude of other beings such as wood nymphs, water spirits, etc., which will be added to the above, and this might sound like a fairy tale. However, in the astral plane, there are realities just the same as all earth beings are realities. The clairvoyant eye of the initiate can see them as a discretion and has the ability to contact them. This immediately removes any doubt as to their existence. First of all, the initiate has to reach a certain level of maturity, must understand how to examine in order to be able to judge. So there you go. So once you achieve this and you start traveling, there you go. You know, these guys didn't get to that place for nothing. Traveling in your astral body. That's you, but you need to travel somewhere. There you go. Remember, you are doing this and you're traveling. We're going to stop right there, people. That's been great. Now, I hope you join me again soon, as we will be picking up more from this book and this book right here that we're reading, the Initiates and the Franz Bardon book. initiation into hermetics, and pick up more on the spirit next. Next, we'll be going into the spirit world. Ooh, I can't wait. So join me next time. So don't forget to tune in. Remember, in the meantime, go out and do something nice for somebody. Do some astral traveling too while you're at it. And if you can, and you do astral travel, remember, let me know. Send me an email or something. One way or another, we'll get a hold of me and let me know how your astral travels went. And I'd be very interested to hear, and if it works for you. Remember, we all have our different experiences, so none of them will ever be the same. I know I have mine. I'll tell you my story if you tell me yours. Put it that way. So go out and do something nice for somebody. Open a door, give them a big smile, just wave to your neighbor, something, and it'll all come back to you. Remember, go out now and be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. I love you all.